This is NBC 10 News.
Good Sunday morning and welcome to NBC 10 News Today. I'm Erin Coleman.
And I'm Brenna Weick, and you are watching special coverage of the major winter storm hitting our entire region right now. Let's get a look at the current snow falling outside. We've seen it in multiple live looks. This is a live look at 30th Street Station. You can hardly see it. The snow is covering JFK Boulevard. If you plan to take a train today, make sure you check with SEPTA or Amtrak. There are several cancellations to be aware of. Let's head up to the Lehigh Valley now. A live look from our camera on top of the PPL Center. Snow is really blowing around there. This is Allentown, where you can see those flurries right in front of our camera.
All right, let's take another live look. City of Philadelphia. Actually, no, we're going to take you down the shore. This is Cape May. Blinking yellow there. One person walking there across Beach Avenue, but you can see, just like everywhere else, the roads are covered.
And the city of Philadelphia is under a snow emergency. More than 1,000 workers have been deployed. Of course, this is a major snowstorm we've been dealing with.
All right, let's bring in meteorologist Brittany Shipp.
Yep.
What's going on there right now?
Well, we definitely are seeing the heavy snow, but we've been talking about this is a two-part system where we're going to start to track some of the mixed precipitation within the next 2 hours or so, I would say, and then that introduces more of an ice threat into the mix here. We have brought out all of our tools, including Storm Ranger 10 here, which is a little bit closer to street level, and it has a faster rotation, so it shows us as well that it is snowing out in the suburbs to the north and west. We also have widespread snow across our radar shot here, extending into Delaware, the shore up towards the Poconos. But where you see the pink, that's the wintry mix that we're concerned about, and it is getting closer and closer to our region. We'll fly you just to the south here, closer to Virginia, where we do have storm reports of freezing rain. So we know that it's a part of the storm. We know that it's heading in our direction, and that's exactly what we expect to see as we go into the next couple of hours. The first spot is going to be closer to the shore. These are all storm reports of either snow, where you see a storm report and it's closer to the pink here, mixed precipitation. That's a report of freezing rain. So again, this is the next piece of the system that we are tracking. You can see how far back this extends all the way to Houston. This is a large system affecting a good part of the nation. As we look hour by hour, it is showing us here temperatures are in the teens for the most part. A few spots right around 12 degrees, and it's all snow until we get to 11:30. Then we start to see the rain snow line moving up. This is 1 o'clock. It'll be over the Philadelphia area, Lansdale out towards Coatesville. And once this starts, it's going to be hours of this mixed precipitation. So typically sleet is a bit on the safer side, but when you get hour after hour of sleet building, it's slippery, it is icy. Same thing with freezing rain. That's another impact where it weighs down on the trees and also the power lines, and that's what could cause the power outages. So as you can see, the pink is still over our region at 4 o'clock, and it will continue tracking here to the north. By 6 o'clock, mainly confined to our I-95 corridor. And then look at these temperatures along the shore. What we'll start to see is rain returning, just plain rain, as temperatures are in the upper 30s at that time. But we're still dealing with the precipitation all the way until about 9 or 10 o'clock at night tonight, with some lingering showers into our early morning hours. The biggest concern for us is going to be the second part of the system, which is going to produce potentially significant icing. When we talk about significant icing, that means major tree damage and prolonged power outages. So hopefully you do have a game plan in place as we get closer and closer to the system warming up and we see more mixed precipitation. That's when the ice threat is going to go up. We will go over more of a detailed timeline for your neighborhood and this ice threat coming up in just a bit. Erin.
Got to have a plan. Thanks, Brittany. Well, the city of Philadelphia, as we mentioned at the top of this newscast, is under a snow emergency.
Yeah, visibility, as you can see, is really low. More than 1,000 workers have been deployed. Crews are working around the clock to try to keep streets safe. The city is also preparing for a messy Monday, closing city public schools, courthouses, and administrative buildings. We're going to get an update from city officials, including Mayor Sherrell Parker, at 10 o'clock this morning, and we do plan to carry it live on all of our NBC 10 platforms.
You got a lot of crews out there clearing areas all around the city. These are private contractors here right outside the Logan Hotel. You can see trying to get those sidewalks safe and passable for the people who do have to be out on the sidewalks. Slippery conditions all around, so you got to take it easy, even just walking around out there so you don't slip and fall and then have other issues. Our live team coverage continues now in Gloucester County.
NBC 10 Siobhan McGurl is in Woodbury Heights right now. What are you seeing, Siobhan?
Good morning, guys, from South Jersey, where the snow continues to fall. It's been coming down like this for hours. Right now, we're at this Wawa. Pretty quiet here this morning, although you can see some people are on the roads. Most of what we've been seeing, guys, trucks like this. Private contractors out, going through the parking lots, plowing, stopping here for gas. We've heard shovels out. These employees at the Wawa making sure people can get through and get the gas, the people who need to be on the roads. New Jersey, like so many places in our region, New Jersey is under a state of emergency, and people are being told essential travel only, essential workers out there, anyone else who does not need to travel being asked to stay inside. We're right now, we're right by 45. I'll give you a look at that major road. You can see snow covered. We have seen plows come by, guys, but as soon as the plow passes, the snow just keeps on falling. I'm going to walk you up here. You can see this parking lot's been plowed, a giant pile right here. You walk up over it. I have my yardstick. We'll get you a look at the snow totals here in Woodbury Heights. Looks like this patch of grass has been untouched. All right, we're looking at 4 inches right now in Woodbury Heights just after 9 o'clock this morning, this snowstorm. I will say, I did just check the power outage map, and so far, so good with PSE&G and AC Electric, not widespread power outages. And if you look up here at the branches, we're not seeing snow stick to the branches yet. Same with those power lines over there, which is good news. We know that can be a concern later in the day with that ice concern. We'll be sure to keep an eye on that as the snow does continue to fall here. Again, we have not seen too many people out on the road. I did call Gloucester County's dispatch, and they say, hey, so far so good. They've not had many weather-related emergencies, so we'll be checking with them throughout the day. Earlier this week, I was talking to some firefighters. They say they have to be out in this. They even take it slow. They're asking people, if you have any fire hydrants, we see one right over there, any of the snow falling, clear the snow from the fire hydrants in that area. One way to help the first responders in this storm. Man behind the camera with me this morning is John Panfile. He's also the man behind the wheel. He told me, driving out here, you don't want to go over 35. He says as soon as he went over 35, that's when he felt the car slipping and sliding. So we'll continue to keep you guys updated on conditions out here. Again, not too much traffic, but the snow pretty constant. Erin and Brenna.
And already 4 inches where Siobhan
I know.
is.
Okay.
Good thing. We're going to check back in, see how much more snow creeps up that yardstick as we go throughout the day.
For now, from Gloucester County, let's check in Chester County. NBC 10's Katie Zachary is there live in Berwyn. Katie?
Hi, Brenna. Hi, Erin. Yes, I've just met a new friend, Battalion Chief Cheryl Drock with Berwyn Fire Department. Good morning. Good morning. Nice to meet you in these elements.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you also.
Okay, let's walk over here, Chief Drock, to this fire hydrant right here, because one of the things that you're telling people living here in Berwyn and throughout the area, similarly to these people who have a fire hydrant in their front yard, what are they supposed to do when it snows?
Anybody that either lives near a hydrant or just find the closest hydrant to your house and shovel it out. We need like 3 feet around the whole hydrant.
A perimeter of 3 feet, so you can access
3 feet
it.
out around it so we could access it and connect our hoses to it.
Okay.
So even if it's not in front of your house, maybe you have an elderly neighbor, it's in front of their house. So just find a hydrant closest to your house, because that's the one we would use if you have a problem.
And that takes precious time if you have to then shovel, an area from the street to the hydrant too. So they should clear a path from the hydrant to the street for better access.
Yes, they can. And the big thing is don't let it totally get covered by snow, because we know where the hydrant locations are, but if there's a whole snow mound here, we're trying to find the hydrant in the snow mound.
And some of these snow mounds, because of the snow and ice we had last weekend, you do have some mounds here. Like, Eric, if you can spin around to your right. Yep, keep spinning. And right here along the perimeter of the new Berwyn Fire Company building, you see that mound there. So we're getting much more added snow to these mounds that were plowed just a few days ago.
Right. And the plow comes along, and I mean, they're not going to stop for a hydrant because they got to get the road clear. So
okay, so have you been out this morning?
Yes, we were just out. We ran down to our other station down in the valley. Roads are horrible, so don't go out. Other than to shovel out your hydrant. Don't go out.
And this is an emergency responder speaking, and you've been out in all different conditions. And if you're qualifying them as horrible, that really says something.
Yeah, roads are bad. So 202 was really bad. It hasn't been touched. So
we were on 202 earlier this morning, and I can say the same thing when we were on it this morning. There's so many roads to cover, and there are only so many plows and trucks. So that's the best advice that you're giving people.
At the rate it's coming down, like they're not going to keep up. Like, it's Sunday, you don't have to go anywhere, settle in on the couch, watch some TV, and stay off the roads.
All right. Thank you
right,
so
you're
much,
welcome.
Chief Jock. It was so nice to meet you. We'll probably connect with you later today. All right. Take care. Aaron and Brenna, we have a few more things to tell you here in Berwyn. We'll save that for about 25 minutes. I have my tape measure to show you how much snow they've gotten. We've talked to someone who was out with her dog. She gave us good shoveling tips. So a lot more from Chester County. We'll send it back to you.
Listen, if there's one thing we know about Katie Zachary, she's going to find a friend.
She is making
in the
friends.
Snow. It
All
doesn't,
the elements.
It doesn't matter.
It's so much more fun to talk to people when you have to be out.
I know.
She's not lonely.
All right, we'll check back in with you, Katie.
For now, let's send things over to
sounds
Matt DeLucia. He has been.
Yeah, good morning, ladies. Matt DeLucia here in the Live Center, and we've been looking at the traffic conditions there. You saw Katie's live shot right there, and also just talking about the conditions there in Chester County along Route 202. We've seen a lot of the same conditions on most of the major highways, including 76, 476, so that it is a lot to keep up with, and we're not seeing the plows being able to keep up with a lot of this. Now, Philadelphia Department of Emergency Management posted this on social media just a few minutes ago, saying that the Streets Department, as well as PennDOT, are working hard to plow the highways and keep the roads passable, but they're also advising everyone to avoid unnecessary travel. And if you do happen to be out there, you want to give at least 6 car lengths behind a snowplow. So that is the situation there. As far as air travel, so far 641 cancellations at Philadelphia International Airport. And we're also seeing a lot of delays on SEPTA here. So Norristown train 40 minutes late. The Trenton line canceled because of crew issues. We've seen some power issues as well. The Doylestown train 29 minutes late. So this is already starting here. Route 35 bus is already suspended. 15-minute delays on the T1 and T3 trolley lines. And as far as New Jersey Transit, the bus, light rail, and Access Link, they're suspended. Rail service will be suspended starting at 2 o'clock this afternoon. So again, it bears repeating. Stay home if you can. Hey, ladies.
Good advice.
Watch us. We'll do the heavy lifting for you. Let's give you a live look outside. 30th Street Station. Ooh, look at the visibility there. You know, as we look at all these cameras around the region, you're getting to see what it looks like close to where you are. This is 30th Street. Few cars there going by, but a lot of people heeding that warning to stay off the roads and letting us just show you what it looks like out there. Stay on the couch. Stay warm. Trust us. You don't want to be in this. It's 9:14. We'll be right back.
This is NBC 10 News.
First Alert Weather Team is tracking a major snowstorm that is rolling through our area right now. This is a live look at Cape May. This system is forecasted to be our heaviest snowfall in years. Philadelphia, the surrounding suburbs, expected to see more than 8 inches of snow. Many cities are under snow emergencies. Officials really urging people to stay at home and off the roads if you can.
Our team coverage continues right now with NBC 10's Tim Furlong. He's been in Delaware all morning long. We know you were having some issues with those windshield wipers earlier. Tell us what you're doing now.
Yeah, at some points today you need this, the little brushy. At some point you need this, the scrapey. We've gone back and forth because when the snow gets wet, that's when you have a problem. You know, again, when you're up against your vehicle, this will get rid of the snow. But then at some point it's gotten so caked on, you can kind of see it there. This isn't as bad as it was earlier down in Middletown, but this is the DelDOT yard in North Wilmington, the Tally yard, if you know where I'm talking about, off Weldon Road. And you can see trucks in and out of here all day long. They have the plows, they have the salt. They can't even keep up with their own parking lot. Look at this. I mean, this is how much snow we already have. At this point, it's nice and light and fluffy, which is a good thing because later on when it gets that crust on it, that's going to be a little bit tougher to deal with. I'm going to go bring you over here because this is Mike Howsky over here. He's one of the engineers in the Northern District here. DelDOT overall has 300 plows out there, right, brother?
Yeah.
300 right there on the road, doing all right.
Yeah, they're all over the state. And I mean, not up here, but across the state. Yep, we got 300 pieces of equipment moving snow.
What's your message to people out there? Just let your guys do their jobs.
Yeah. So most importantly, you know, one thing we say at DelDOT all the time is everybody goes home. So if you could give them some distance, you know, be safe for yourself, be safe for them. You know, most important, just give them space to clear the road so you guys can drive safe. So
you should say the word eventually. They go home eventually because it's going to be a long couple days, right?
Unfortunately, yes. You know, they do a lot of sacrifice. You know, they don't see their family and friends for a while clear these roads for you. So, give them a break. And they've been here for a couple days, in some instances. And so, just.
And many of these guys are going to go home and have to shovel their own driveways.
Unfortunately, me as well, actually. So, yeah.
Well, your wife, I know, is watching. You told me your wife's watching, so.
She is.
She could probably shovel. I don't want to be the one to say that, but you could take a turn.
Yeah, she fails to tell people sometimes that she's shoveling because I'm at work. So
got you. I also the governor is coming here in a little while, Governor Meyer, to go out with one of your plow operators. I'm guessing driving a plow is not easy, and the governor should probably look but don't touch when he's sitting in the truck.
Hey, it's his truck as well, so he can do what he wants.
I don't know about that. It's probably not a great idea.
Yeah.
Mike Howsky, thanks so much for talking. Keep your people safe today. Thanks for having us out here. This is yours. I borrowed that from yours. That's one of the ones that goes on these big trucks here. Guys, if you see these trucks, whether it's a PennDOT truck, a DelDOT truck, a New Jersey DOT truck, any plow truck like this, definitely give them their space. It's safer for them. It's safer for you. Let everybody do their jobs. And like you said, everybody's got to go home safely. Back to you.
Listen, we can't say it enough. We've been saying it all morning. It's bears repeating. Tim, I'm glad you said it.
Say it again. Say it again.
Stay out of their way. They're doing the hard work, right?
They are, exactly. We're very grateful for that.
Thank you, Tim.
Grateful for meteorologist Brittany Ship. You've been tracking this thing, and we already saw, Siobhan said there was 4 inches in Gloucester County, so it's piling.
Yeah, we're starting to get those updated totals in, and they are reaching over 4 inches. Even us, we're staying pretty local here. We're not going to leave here and then get on the roadway, so we have a game plan as well.
We're walking.
We'll be
Putting those boots
on our
on.
feet. Yeah, that's right. Here's a look at those snowfall reports that are coming in. We have Birdsboro, PA, 4.5 inches. That's the highest amount I was able to find so far. Reading, 3 inches, close to 3 inches. Newcastle, same thing for the Atlantic City Airport. And these will continue to be updated. We have 9 a.m. snow reports. These are just our PA suburbs. And the overall range is 2 to 3 inches so far, but we still have a few more hours of snow to go. So we do expect those totals to continue to climb and climb. Our radar shot across the region, it is widespread where you see the darker blue shade here. Those are the heavy snowfall amounts that are coming through. So you can see some of the heaviest snow is right over Philadelphia. And that's when we get those decreased visibility on our cameras. We widen out the picture here. You can already see the system is starting to change a bit. Just to the south of us, we have reports of freezing rain. You're starting to even see a little bit of rain off the coast. Our ice threat duration timeline down the shore and parts of South Jersey. This is going to start for us around 11 a.m. and go all the way until 4 p.m. before switching over to just rain down the shore with temperatures in the upper 30s. Closer to Philadelphia, you have it until about noon before you start to see more of a switch over to sleet and the freezing rain, and that's going to go all the way until 9 p.m. That's why it's going to be so slippery out there, so icy, so dangerous. The potential is there for significant icing, which could lead to power outages as freezing rain continues to weigh down on trees and power lines. Then you have your PA suburbs probably going to start around 1 p.m. and last all the way until 10 p.m. So it will be done with all just the plain snow coming down. It's going to switch over to more of this wintry mix. And then for Berks and Lehigh, this will be one of the last places to see a wintry mix, which is why the snowfall totals are going to be the highest in that location. As we look at our hour-by-hour forecast, most of our temperatures very cold out there. These are actual temperatures, not even including the wind chills, and they're in the teens. Rain-snow mix starts to move in. It comes all the way up to Philadelphia, Wilmington by 1 p.m. We mentioned by 2:30, 3 o'clock, it's over our suburbs, 4 o'clock closer to the Lehigh Valley. We mentioned the rain. This is what it looks like here with temperatures in the upper 30s along the shore, parts of South Jersey here. So unfortunately, down the shore, you're not really the bullseye of the system. That's where the smallest amounts of snow will accumulate, is along the shore. And it's mainly going to be rain, which will help wash away some of those fresh snowfalls. As we look here at 9:30 tonight, we still have moisture. We're still dealing with this system. It's going to take all the way until our early morning hours on Monday before this system totally departs our region. Potentially could move out a bit early by maybe 11 p.m., but bottom line is we are going to be dealing with this throughout the entire day. Next up, we're looking at our ice forecast here. Significant, this is all through our I-95 corridor. Significant icing is probable and possible. You also have a light glaze, and even a light glaze is dangerous. Light glaze means icy roads and dangerous driving. So imagine if we get all the way up to significant, where it's over ½ an inch of ice. That means we're dealing with major tree damage and also prolonged power outages. So hopefully you have a game plan in place just in case you lose power. Our snowfall forecast for today in that same region, 8 to 12 inches before we start to see that changeover and also the ice developing. 12 to 18 for the Lehigh Valley, and then closer to 3 to 5 for Cape May, Atlantic City, southern parts of Delaware, central parts of Delaware up towards some of our South Jersey suburbs, expected to see 5 to 8 inches of snow. So pretty impressive here. Our actual temperatures right now, you're at 15 degrees in Philadelphia, 16 in South Jersey, single digits in the Lehigh Valley, 28 down the shore. And then take a look at our daytime highs for today. Places like the shore will see temperatures rising all the way up to 40 degrees. So rain is expected at the tail end of the system. Delaware at 27. Most locations are going to be still below freezing, but it is going to be that possibility for us to get the wintry mix in there for a prolonged amount of time. So bottom line, we just want everyone to stay off the roads, especially once we start to see this changeover happening. And that's going to lead to those icy conditions out there. And you just want to be very careful until the system is done. Matt, what are you looking at right now for us?
Yeah, well, Brittany, a moment ago you were talking about the potential for the ice, and that can cause a lot of problems with power outages here. So we've got a cool little website up here, poweroutage.us, where we can be interactive and show you so far 99 customers without power in Philadelphia, 21 in Delaware County. So very low numbers at this point. That is the good news there. So far in South Jersey, we're only really seeing Atlantic County, 31 customers, and so far in Delaware, it's really not too bad at all. Now, let's take a look at some of your pictures. We got a lot of people who are out there having some fun at the moment here. So Carolyn sent us this video here of the snow, saying that the snow is accumulating fast here right by East Lincoln Highway. She says no residential roads have been plowed there. So that's just within the last hour. Kipper the dog here, look at this. Kipper's going to be having a good time out here in the snow all day. Can't play that video, but yeah, he was having a good time out there. Thank you, Dennis, for that. And look at this. This is a Hallmark card if there ever was one. Victoria say 7:30 this morning, Smedley between 16th and 17th Street. Cute dogs right there. And of course, we have snow piling up in Oxford. So this is the scene that we're seeing everywhere. Just nice, picturesque there in Chester County. So please send us your photos and videos. Go to the NBC10 app or NBC10.com, and you go to the See It, Share It section there. We're also on social media, so we'll be watching all of your videos coming in, seeing a lot of cute ones coming in as well. We'll have that throughout the day for you as you please stay home. Don't go out in this mess here. Ladies, we'll send it back over to you for now.
I think the kids and the dogs are going to have the best day today. Shout out to Kipper for sure with his little sweater there. All right, let's give you a live look at Allentown right now.
Oh, boy.
Well, you know, that shot has changed.
It sure has.
Quite a bit.
There we go. Okay, we're getting a little more view.
A little defrost action, I don't know. We are following this major winter storm that has taken over our entire region. We're going to check back in with Brittany Schiff right after the break. Right now on NBC 10 News at 9:30, we are in the middle of a winter storm like we have not seen in several years. This is what it looks like in Center City. Every community in our area has already gotten at least a couple of inches of snow, and we are not even halfway done with this thing. The snowfall far from over.
And look at this video from the Lehigh Valley. Even experienced drivers are having trouble in this weather. That is a snowplow full of salt that got stuck under a bridge with the dump bed up, as you can see. Potentially wasted salt all over the road there. Matt DeLucia is monitoring the other traffic conditions that you need to know about in the Live Center.
Take a look at the first alert weather radar. The entire area covered in that blue. That means some sort of winter precipitation is falling where you are, and this system's just going to keep on coming through the rest of the morning.
The details on this storm could change minute by minute. That's why we have a team of meteorologists looking at the latest data. Brittany Schiff and Marvin Gomez are tag teaming this morning to bring you the certified most accurate forecast.
This is NBC 10 News.
Good morning, and thanks for staying with us here on NBC 10 News Today. I'm Erin Coleman.
And I'm Brenna Wegg. The First Alert Weather Team warned us all week long that this storm could really have a huge impact, and now it is here. We're seeing that impact all across our region. Meteorologist Brittany Schiff is here with your Weather 8 certified most accurate forecast.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot to still get through. We've seen anywhere between 1 to almost 5 inches of snow, depending on where you are. And as we show you our live camera network, you can see white out conditions across the entire region. If you're looking at Philadelphia, snow-covered roads here, snow in the Schuylkill. We also have 30th Street Station, and then down towards Cape May, you can see those roads are definitely covered. You see a little bit of snow on the sand as well, and then we'll take you up towards King of Prussia, where we have our Valley Forge tourism camera. And again, the snow-covered roads, you can see the cars. Some cars are out there still trying to make their way. And then if you're closer to the mountains, those skiers are definitely enjoying the fresh snowfall. 2 things that we're tracking for you with this first alert: the heavy snow and the accumulating ice threat. That's going to be the second piece of the system that we're tracking, and the more dangerous piece of it. As we look at our current temperatures, and feels like 15 degrees right now in Philadelphia, but feeling like 2 degrees below zero. Feels like 0 in Wilmington. Feels like 7 degrees below zero in Allentown. Feeling like 12 degrees in Atlantic City. So overall, this is a cold system, of course, and our wind gusts up to 28 miles per hour in Wilmington, 30 in Dover, 32 in the Atlantic City Marina, and we'll continue with those strong wind gusts as we go through the rest of today. Our radar shot showing us all the widespread snow. The darker blue means heavy snow is coming down over Philadelphia, over Newcastle County, and we widen out the picture where you start to see the pink there. That's the wintry mix that is going to be heading into our direction. We have a lot more moisture left. We have another probably 12 to 14 hours left of this system. And overall, it depends on where you are. If you're closer to the Lehigh Valley, this is mostly snow for you. But we're going to start to see a big transition within our I-95 corridor from snow to more of a wintry mix, which will produce slippery, icy, dangerous conditions. And then if you're closer to Cape May, Atlantic City, your snow to mix to even rain, with daytime highs up to 40 degrees today. But right now, I want to bring in First Alert meteorologist Marvin Gomez. He's going to take a closer look at the transition from snow to that wintry mix. Marvin.
That is correct, Brittany. A very dangerous situation with the ice that we're anticipating in many of our neighborhoods. As we take a look closer, and what I'm expecting, rain eventually will start coming down in many neighborhoods as the warm air associated with the storm filters a little bit farther inland away from the coast. And this essentially means that when the rain comes down on surfaces, it is going to freeze immediately. Now, the frozen rain, that ice over snow, means that shoveling is going to be very hard. However, the freezing rain on trees and power lines, this is adding extra weight, and that essentially means that those could easily snap. Those can come down, leading to power outages and potential road closures if we have a power line or a tree on any of our local roads. How much of that ice are we expecting? Accumulation likely greater than 1/4 of an inch along the I-95 corridor, sections of New Jersey, northern Delaware, Wilmington, maybe even getting closer to about 1/2 an inch of ice. And assuming we get a smaller amount than some of the numbers I'm showing you here, you heard Brittany Schiff mention it earlier, even a light glaze is already dangerous enough for drivers. And what could be one of the reasons that those power lines or trees could come down with the extra weight, or because of the extra weight? It is going to be the wind. Yes, we are expecting gusty conditions for the afternoon, with those wind gusts getting near 30 miles per hour. Of course, icicles hanging off of trees or any other surfaces, they look really pretty on picture, but of course, they can be very dangerous as well if we have that ice on the roads. Erin.
All right, thanks, Marv. You know, he just mentioned wind gusts. Our team coverage continues in Atlantic County, where we hear that wind is really whipping out there.
Yeah, NBC 10's Lee Zhang is live in Ventnor right now.
Yeah, guys, this wind is no joke. You can really feel it if you're standing out here for just even a few seconds. I want to show you guys just how deep the snow is. I mean, it has certainly not stopped snowing since we've been here. We got here around 5 or so in the morning, and it really has just looked like this pretty much the whole morning, with just more and more snow added to the ground. And as you can imagine, a bunch of these shops, they are all closed today. But, you know, we were driving around Ventnor Avenue, and guess what is open at this hour? It is, of course, a Wawa. So while we've been in the parking lot, I've been chatting with some folks about where they're coming from, where they're going today. This is our new friend Rocky, who graciously allows us to talk to him. Rocky, you mentioned you are not from here. You drove here from New York, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And how have the roads been so far?
Kind of slippery, I must admit.
And can I ask what brings you to New Jersey?
Atlantic City. Came to have a little weekend in Atlantic City with a couple of friends.
Oh my goodness, did you plan this knowing that the weather would be like this?
Not at all, not at all, not at all. Really, I didn't believe the weatherman. He did say it was coming, but I didn't believe the weatherman.
Oh my
now I believe.
I was gonna say, are you a believer now?
I'm a believer now, yes ma'am.
Being from New York, I imagine you're used to driving in the snow, or at least you're used to driving in winter weather, right?
Oh yes, 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 yes.
Do you have any advice for drivers? We hear all the time about people, driving too fast. Maybe they drive a little faster than we would advise them to. What would you recommend to drivers?
Drive very slow. Take your time. Don't turn the wheel too much. Try to keep the wheel as straight as possible.
And I know this morning you stopped here at Wawa. That's how we met you.
Yes, yes.
You've had a chance to kind of walk through the snow as well.
Yes, it's pretty deep.
Any thoughts?
Well, I hope it stops.
So I know you're in town for Atlantic City, having some fun. What's the rest of your day look like today?
Oh, I'm on my way home now, fortunately. I'm going back to New York.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I won't keep you all day, sir. I appreciate you for chatting with us. I hope you guys have a safe trip, and I hope you guys had a great time out here.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Rocky. Yes. So you heard it from someone who's used to driving in this weather. You got to really just take your time on these roads. Even while we've been out today, I think we've gone no faster than about 25, 30 miles an hour or so, but that is certainly sound advice if you are going to be out here. Really, really just take your time on these roads. We can't stress that enough. We'll send it back to you.
Rocky believes now.
Rocky. See, they don't get NBC 10 in New York City.
That's
so
true.
He needed to be watching our meteorologist.
Right. We can't blame him for not having heard Marvin.
Come on, he's hitting the road, so that's kind of what you're not supposed to be doing. Stay off the roads. It's worth repeating.
Please.
If you don't have to be out there. Our live team coverage continues now. Let's go to Tim Furlong in Delaware.
Yeah, Tim, how are things looking right now?
It's getting worse and worse and worse, but we got a new plow driver on the job. This guy right here, Governor Matt Meyer, who probably shouldn't be climbing all over the equipment before he talks to people. Governor, how are you?
Hey, Tim.
How you holding up today?
Good. I mean,
roads are tough.
They're tough. This is kind of a pajamas all day kind of day in Delaware Valley. Yeah. Stay off the roads. Let's keep safe. We want to make sure emergency responders can get out and do their job.
I saw 10 a.m. it goes to level 2. Can you explain to our viewers what that means for Delaware?
It means stay off the road.
Everybody,
stay off the road. Yeah, stay off the road. If you have an emergency, call 911. Technically, the southern part of the state, Sussex County, is still level 1. Bottom line is don't leave home. This is not a run to the convenience store real quick kind of storm. If you have cabin fever or stuck inside, go outside, play in the snow.
Yeah, we were at Wawa, and even the Wawas can't keep up with the snow with the private plow drivers. Yeah. The side roads, DelDOT's doing a great job, and I always tell people to use the Plow app because you can see where they are. Yeah. But it's coming down faster than you can plow it. Is that right. Your experience so far driving around?
Yeah, so far. It's, listen, we're subject to Mother Nature. And we're doing all we can, but Mother Nature's pretty tough, unforgiving. So we're just encouraging people to stay home. You help save emergency responders' lives when you stay home so they can get out, do their work. We don't want anyone hurt for a preventable situation. It's just not worth it.
We were pretty shocked out on the roads, and we saw people in these like Ford Festivas and Honda Fits, and you're like, cuz, what are you thinking? I mean, don't do it. I saw you're in an SUV, we're in an SUV. You're going out in this.
It's one of those odd days where I don't even get on my bicycle today.
Yeah,
it's that
is a rare day.
That's a rare day.
Hey, listen, you're going out with a plow driver. Yeah. You're going to buy coffee. Like, how is this going to go for you? I mean, you're going to just be quiet and let them do their job, or are you going to want to help?
Listen, I'm just out to support them, say thank you, so I can get more information about what they do and see what we can do leading the state to support them and make emergency response a little bit better for Delaware.
This is your first time in a big winter storm, right? Last year we didn't have, after you were inaugurated, we didn't have anything too big. This is the biggest.
First time as governor, not first time in my life. This ain't our first rodeo, Tim.
I know, I got you. Hey, be safe out there.
Thank you.
Be nice
too,
to the
Tim.
plow driver. They're looking forward to having you along.
Thank you.
But just be safe and have your whole team be safe, too.
Thanks,
Governor. Appreciate it. Yeah, so you see, the governor said it, too, and he's driving around in an SUV with his team. But it is, at 10 o'clock, a level 2 restriction that just came out. That's breaking news in the last few minutes, which means in Delaware, unless you have a waiver to be out, unless you're emergency personnel, media, plow drivers, things like that, even private plow contractors, you're okay, but you're not allowed to go to Wawa to get coffee. That's over in Delaware for the duration of this storm. We'll keep you posted as to when that goes away, but as of right now, that's the rule, so make sure you follow it, because you can see here, this snow keeps coming down. It just keeps piling up. This was actually shoveled not too long ago, and here we are again standing in a few inches of snow. So it is a very serious situation. Back to you guys.
Make that coffee at home. How cool is that, though? The governor riding around.
I know. Just, hey, what's up, governor?
No pressure on the drivers there, right? Having the governor right next to you.
Absolutely.
Love that he's with the crews out there that are working hard. Our live team coverage continues now over in Gloucester County.
NBC 10's Siobhan McGurl's in Woodbury Heights right now. Siobhan, I know the last time we talked to you, you had about 4 inches of snow on the ground there, kind of showing us conditions. I think you were right by Route 45. It looks like we're seeing some trucks and some emergency vehicles out there in Woodbury Heights. How are things going?
Yeah, hey guys, snow continues to fall. Live look right now at those plow trucks coming through on Route 45 and Woodbury Heights, making sure these roads are clear as the snow continues to fall. A whole caravan of them, 1, 2, 3, and a fourth right here. You can see a car traveling behind them. Make sure no one's getting in their way out here this morning. We've seen a couple plows pass through, guys, but the snow is so constant that as soon as they pass through, not too long after, the roads are snow covered. We're still at this Wawa again. Oh gosh, and even more, guys. Let me just show you. A whole caravan of workers coming through here, making sure these roads are clear. Hey, we're at this Wawa. We're seeing some people still out and about. I just met, what's your name, man?
Connor.
Connor, what are you doing out here and how are the roads?
The roads aren't too good and I'm just came to get some gas. Figured it wasn't too busy out here, so.
I thought you were in a big truck, but what's feeling? What are you doing out there?
Probably about 15 or 20.
Anything more than that, what are you feeling?
I feel like I'm gonna slip off the road.
Yeah, what are your plans for the rest of the day once you get the gas here?
Probably just hanging at home.
Yeah, perfect day for it, right?
Yeah.
Watch some football. Important to take it seriously. You've been experiencing these conditions firsthand. We have some people sitting at home on the couch. What's your message to them?
If you don't need to go out, don't go out. Just stay at home.
Yeah, that is the message, man. Thank you so much for stopping to talk to us. I appreciate you. Maybe get some coffee when you get your gas and then get back home, right? Hey, so one of the things out here is you see some more cars come in. The snow is light and fluffy, which the people who are out here shoveling at the Wawa told me is a good thing. If you see, super easy to shovel. I'm doing that with my left hand. I'm right-handed, so super easy. I don't know how much longer that'll last. And the thing is, so I saw someone post first thing this morning. They said, hey, well, it's light and fluffy. That's the good news. The bad news is you shovel and then 30 minutes later you got to come out because it just continues to fall out here. Again, we'll give you another look at 45 after those plows pass through. You can still see snow covered on those roads. Those plows are out working. We know state, county, and local. I saw some Woodbury Heights Public Works crews coming through the neighborhoods over here, working to keep up with this. Again, guys, it's essential travel only. We did talk to some people who were just out for church this morning, stopped over at the Wawa to grab some coffee, but they say, hey, after this, they're home, going no more than 15, 20 out here. Brenna, Aaron, I'll just leave you real quick with another look at the tree branches here and the power lines, because that's where we really want to pay attention to today. Good news so far, don't see a lot of ice sticking there, but we will certainly be keeping an eye on that as the snowstorm continues. Guys, we'll send it back to you in Woodbury Heights.
We know the changeover is going to happen at some point. Siobhan McGurl reporting in Woodbury Heights. Thanks for that.
All right, let's take a live look now, 9:44 on your Sunday. This is Bethlehem, PA. You can see a driving shot, almost a near whiteout here. Those roads not plowed at all where we're seeing this shot at least. And the precipitation still falling. We expect the snow to turn into ice and sleet in parts of our region, causing even more dangerous conditions. Stay home if you can. Our meteorologists are tracking the timing of this thing, and we're letting you know the impacts coming up in just a few minutes. If you've been with us throughout the morning, you know the roads are not looking so great as snow continues to fall. It's been falling for hours now. We have on the phone right now PennDOT spokesperson Chris Johnson.
Chris, good to see you. I think we've got you coming to us in a second here. Pennsylvania, we know, has more than 40,000 miles of state-owned roadways. There we go. Hey, Chris, good to see you. They got to clear all of this during the storm. We talked to you a couple of hours ago. Now it's 9:47. What are the road conditions looking like right now, and how have they changed over the past couple of hours?
Well, the snow is definitely coming down at a pretty quick rate there. We have pre-treated the roads prior to this winter event with brine and salt, so that does help stop the ice from sticking to the pavement. So we're ahead of the game in that regard. We have our full crew out, all hands on deck, with snow plows, all of our personnel, and they will just continue to treat those roads, to clear those roads, to make them as safe as and passable until this weather event is done and we clean it up.
You mentioned that you have, all of your crews out right now, full power. What kind of strategy do you use going into a storm like this? I'm sure many of us can't understand the complexity of it, but how many road crews do you have? How many plows do you have deployed right now?
So right now we have, like I said, hundreds and hundreds of our personnel are here. Like I said, the all hands on deck. We have more than 70,000 tons of salt that's stockpiled, so we don't have any concerns about salt. PennDOT plans to use all of our available resources during this storm. That's about 425 trucks. That includes more than 160 state trucks and about 260 contractor trucks across the region. Also, we have 89 municipal contracts that are in place, so that this helps us, especially with the city of Philadelphia, so we can make sure that we are covering all those roadways, very effectively and as safely as possible.
Really quickly before we let you go, we know that the snow is going to change over to sleet, that freezing rain later on today. So how does your strategy change as the conditions change and we get more of the ice?
Well, we were certainly pretty proactive. PennDOT always is. They've been doing this a long time with getting that anti-icing, that spring salt water brine and salt on the roadways before the storm starts. That makes sure that product is going on the road and stops a lot of that ice from sticking to the pavement in the first place. Now, when the snow came down, it's kind of a benefit that the snow came down first today, and will continue a little bit into this afternoon, because the plows will go through and pick up that snow very effectively. So as we know, there'll be very cold temperatures this week, and it's going to take some time for everything to thaw out and move, clean up this storm. So it'll be a couple days.
Okay, Chris Johnson with PennDOT giving us an idea of what exactly crews are dealing with out there. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, let's send over to Matt DeLucia standing by in the live center, taking a look at the roads and a lot of the pictures that are coming in from viewers out there. Hey there, Matt.
Yeah, and we just got some breaking news from SEPTA. We were just on the phone with them. So all bus and regional rail service will be suspended at 2 o'clock this afternoon. They'll be evaluating how that goes forward, when they will be able to start operations again. But we were concerned about buses being delayed or suspended. Now, everything will be suspended starting at 2 o'clock. Market Frankfurt line, Broad Street line, those are still running. Those are the best bets to get in and out of the city if you can. But right now, that is the latest word from SEPTA. Mass transit being hit hard by the snowstorm already here at 9:51 in the morning, ladies.
Thanks for that update, Matt. Our team coverage continues right now in Chester County. NBC 10's Katie Zachary is in Berwyn.
Good morning again, Katie.
Good morning. And Matt had just talked about SEPTA's update about that bus service being suspended as of 2 o'clock. Behind me here along Lancaster Avenue, you can see bus route 105. Fortunately, no one that we've seen has been waiting out for any SEPTA buses to pick them up. And truthfully, we have not seen any SEPTA buses on Lancaster Avenue. Take a look, Eric, pan off to the right. It's really whiteout conditions here. Visibility is not great, and the snow is coming down pretty quickly. It's hard to tell Lancaster Ave, which is the street coming toward you, as it differs from the side street, which is going across it. Here in Berwyn, that's Bridge Avenue and Old Lancaster Road. The plows are working overtime on Lancaster Ave. We've seen them over the last little bit, but the snow's just coming down so quickly, it's kind of blanketing and covering up any progress they've made. As we spin back around here to this parking lot just off that intersection I showed you, I want to take my tape measure and show you, switch hands here. I want to show you how many inches we have here in Berwyn, Chester County. As we push it down, it's coming up to 5 inches. About 20 minutes ago, we were around the 4-inch mark. Now it's around 5 inches. And I wanted also just show you how light and fluffy it is. It's really easy to kind of push around, and you can see the pavement there. It's nice. It's not sticking to the pavement. We don't have that icy glaze on the pavement. If your kids are, watching our coverage, looking outside and wanting to come out and make snowmen. I tried. I couldn't make a snowman. It's not really good packing snow, but some takeaways, Aaron and Brenna, because I know you both have kiddos at home probably wanting to get out in this fun winter weather. Definitely they need their snow pants, their snow boots, their ski jacket, their winter jacket, hand warmers, layer up. Temps are hovering here in Chester County around 10 degrees, and you really feel it. So I would say go outside for like a quick little window and come back in and get some hot chocolate.
I want video of the attempt to make a snowman next time. I'd like to see it. I believe in you,
Katie will do it.
I believe.
Katie will do it.
I did. I tried, and we'll get video when it's a more successful attempt. How's that?
Okay. Yeah, maybe when it turns to ice and rain, because we know that's coming.
Oh boy. All right. Thanks for that, Katie.
We know that's coming.
Let's bring in meteorologist Brittany Shipp. Good thing you mentioned it, because that's what we're looking at now. Like, when is that changeover really going to happen?
And it all depends. We have a timeline for everyone. It depends on which neighborhood you're in. It's going to happen first if you're closer to the shore, parts of South Jersey, and the last to see that changeover is the Lehigh Valley and Berks County, and those locations are where we'll have the higher snowfall amount. So again, it's this changing dynamic storm that we're watching. And if we can switch it on over to Weather Computer 2, I can show you exactly what we can expect as we head into the rest of today. Here's a look at some of our wind gusts in the meantime, which they are going to be gusting up to about 30 miles per hour as we head into the rest of the afternoon. But as we take a look at live look outside maybe, and we'll show you that we are just seeing white out conditions. But again, overall, we are dealing with just a lot of snow moving through the area for today. There's a closer look at what we need to see, and this is down towards Cape May. I mean, it just looks like it's just a mess out there. It's just a winter wonderland. So there you can see it. We have just one little lone car here driving down, but look at our live camera network. It does show us white out conditions for Philadelphia, snow-covered roads here. Can barely make out the train station. Then you've already seen Cape May. We'll show you the Valley Forge tourism camera here. Again, white out conditions, and probably everyone having a good time up on the mountain there, Camelback Mountain. The two things we're tracking for you during this first alert: number one, the heavy snow that is happening now. That started at between 1 and 2 a.m. And then the dangerous ice threat is the next part that we're going to track and that we are concerned about. I went ahead and updated more snowfall totals here. Birdsboro picking up 4.5 inches of snow. Camden, 5 inches. Burlington, 5 inches, over 5 inches. And Woodside, Delaware, 4.2. Magnolia, Delaware, Kent County, and then Chester, PA, almost 5 inches. That has been the range so far with the latest totals. And we do have another couple of hours of snow coming down before that changeover starts. So our current versus feels like temperatures also impressive. 15 degrees in Philadelphia, feeling like 1 below. 11 degrees in Reading. Allentown, it feels like 8 degrees below zero, feeling just like 4 degrees in Millville. And our wind gusts currently up to 25 miles per hour in Millville, 30 in Dover, 30 in Wyattwood, and 34 at the Atlantic City Marina. So we are seeing these gusty wind speeds. And as we look at our radar shot, where you see the darker blue, that's heavy snow coming down. That decreases your visibility. That's how we're seeing those whiteout conditions across all of our cameras here. Our hour-by-hour forecast shows hours more of snow until we get to about 11 a.m. for the shore. As we get to 1 o'clock along our I-95, now we have that rain-snow mix moving. It'll continue tracking to the north and west. 2, 3 o'clock, it's all the way up towards the Lehigh Valley. Once we see this pink here, this is more of a wintry mix. So that means sleet, that means freezing rain, and the icy conditions are expected. And that's when it gets even a little bit more dangerous. Down towards Cape May, do you see that temperature, 37 degrees? So that's rain. We'll start to see rain moving back into the forecast right along the shore. And as we look ahead to how much more rain or snow or mix we'll be dealing with, this is going to extend all the way into our late hours tonight, potentially lingering showers into our early morning hours tomorrow. We're talking 2, 3 a.m. in the morning on your Monday. Our ice forecast, this is the most concerning part of this entire weather forecast with this storm, and that's the potential for significant icing all over this I-95 corridor, immediate suburbs to the north and west, and also the immediate suburbs to the south and east here. So anywhere you see the blue, the darker blue, that means we could see significant icing. Even light icing is dangerous because it creates icy roads and dangerous driving conditions. When we talk about significant icing, anywhere between over half an inch of ice, we start to see major tree damage and also prolonged power outages because the freezing rain just glazes and it weighs down those power lines, and those could also bend and break. So we're watching that carefully for you. And overall, just a reminder, the snowfall forecast, 12 to 18 inches for Reading and Allentown, 8 to 12 over this I-95. We've already picked up about 5 inches, so we're more than halfway there to get into that range, and then 3 to 5 closer to the shore. Coming up, we'll talk more about that timeline. That's what we're going to continue to emphasize, is when you can expect the changeover in your neighborhood. Matt.
All right, thanks, Brady. Matt DeLucia here in the Lime Center. We've been monitoring traffic. We've been monitoring the rails. We just mentioned about SEPTA canceling the regional rail and buses starting at 2 o'clock this afternoon. We have that here. We've been posting it on social media. They've already been having a lot of issues, SEPTA, so a lot of delays so far here because of switch issues, power issues. But you know what? Let's talk about the fun stuff, shall we? All right, we've been seeing a lot of videos of people having some fun here. So this is what Veronique, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, sent this in. Adult snow fun at 22nd and Spring Garden there. A little plow right there in that gas station parking lot. Nels sending us this video here of snow in the Pottstown area. So you can see it really just already piled up in that area, several inches from that shot. Rose Kirchner sending us this photo here from Gloucester City, New Jersey. She said this is right outside her apartment there. You can't even see outside. It's all snow. It's all a blanket of white at this point. Stacy sending us this beautiful picture of Eleanor the Westie greeting the snowy day on the front porch in Long Beach Island. We've seen a lot of cute dog and kid pictures. Speaking of kid pictures here, Lisa McDowell sending us this. Asher from West Hampton making snow angels in his first big snowfall. Please send us your photos and videos using the share it section on NBC10.com or the free NBC10 app. We have plenty more snow coverage here on this snowy Sunday for you. NBC 10 News continues right now.
This is NBC 10 News.
Snow continues to accumulate here in Roxborough.
Really low visibility as well all throughout our region.
Snow feels like it is falling a bit heavier right now.
Make room for the plows out there as they make their way through to try to clear everything up.
This is probably one of the most important parts of the forecast, is the fact that we expect to see significant icing.
We're looking at the potential for some pretty significant power outages.
Yes, serious business for sure. The ice threat, something that's going to impact many communities along the I-95 corridor.
Snow has been falling for hours and it is starting to pile up in many places. Look at your screen. A live look from our cameras in Allentown, Center City, Wilmington, Delaware, and Cape May. My goodness, nearly whiteout conditions. You can see the storm is affecting every corner of our region right now.
The wind making an impact, too. This is what it looked like just a short time ago in Center City. The snow is blowing sideways as crews work hard to keep up with the sidewalks and the roadways, trying to keep everything clear.
Really is best to stay off the roads right now so crews can plow. A driver got stuck in the snow here in Delaware. This is on Folk Road. Tim Furlong spoke with the governor of Delaware just minutes ago. A level 2 driving restriction is in effect right now. It means only essential personnel should be on the roads. Unnecessary travel strongly discouraged, and you could be pulled over if your travel is not essential.
We've also deployed Storm Ranger 10. It's our mobile weather radar. There it is, stationed right now at Wings Field in Bluebell, Montgomery County. This is part of the data that our First Alert weather team is looking at to track this storm.
Yeah, we saw the first flakes starting to fall around 2 o'clock this morning, about when we were getting up and over here. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on NBC 10 News today. I'm Brenna White.
I'm Erin Coleman. 10 o'clock on your Sunday morning, and we continue to track this major winter storm. It's already brought several inches of snow to communities all over the region. It's not over yet. In fact, leaders in Philadelphia, they're scheduled to update us on their response to the storm at any moment. We're going to bring that to you just as soon as it begins. But first, let's have a look at Havertown, Delaware County. A blanket of snow is covering this neighborhood.
Wow.
You can't see where the front yards end and the streets begin.
Several inches out there.
Yeah.
In Center City, crews are busy clearing the sidewalks. So far, just a thin layer of snow in Center City, but those fierce winds are blowing the snow sideways, so making visibility and cleanup difficult.
SEPTA trains, they're still running on the Norristown high-speed lines, but those train cars, they're pretty empty. SEPTA says riders today can expect delays and cancellations.
Let's take a live look at the roads in Allentown. Look at all of that snow. Definitely something that you can actually see that plow starting to remove snow from the sidewalks, but the roads really are not clear. You need to take it slow if you have to head out the door, and if you don't, just stay home.
All right, let's get right on over to NBC 10's meteorologist Brittany Ship. Tell us what we're seeing right now out there, Brittany.
Yeah, right now we are dealing with the whiteout conditions just like you guys have been showing. Here's a closer look outside of 30th Street Station. And again, the roads are snow covered. There's not a lot of cars out there, which is a good thing. But the next piece of this story that we want to just drill home is the fact that we're going to start to see more of a changeover, a wintry mix, which would include the sleet and the freezing rain for the shore. That's going to start at 11 a.m. So in another hour or so, we're going to start to get reports of sleet, freezing rain moving in. For Philadelphia, it's right around noon. And once it starts, it continues through this time frame. So it starts at noon for Philadelphia, continues until 9 p.m. And then for our PA suburbs, starts at 1 and continues to about 10 p.m. For Berks and Lehigh, 6 p.m. until about midnight. And for places like the shore, after this, it's just plain rain because temperatures are going to be pushing up to about 40 degrees down the shore. Our radar shot right now showing us it is still all snow coming down. You have the heavier pockets here where you start to see those darker blues, those deeper blues. The visibility is low, the snow is heavy. And then just to the south of Sussex County, you're already seeing the pink. So that's telling us there's warmer air working into the system, and we're going to slowly start to see everything go from that fluffy snow, which is hard to pack and hard to make a snowman, to packable snow. Not only that, but it's switching over to sleet and freezing rain, and eventually all rain. So our futurecast showing us our hour by hour goes over the next 2 to 3 hours. You're going to notice a big difference in the type of precipitation that's coming down. And it'll be widespread across most of the region, with the exception of Allentown and Reading, which is why their range is 12 to 18 inches of snow. They'll get a few more hours more than everyone else of just pure snow coming down. By 3 o'clock, you're starting to see the rain developing here towards Cape May, 37 degrees on that temperature reading. And by 5 o'clock, we're still steady with the wintry mix over the Philadelphia region, a lot of our suburbs to the north and west and south and east. And then as we head into 7 p.m., a little bit more rain develops here for most of South Jersey, and snow still going strong up towards the Lehigh Valley. And unfortunately, the wintry mix is still going strong over a lot of our PA suburbs in Philadelphia. And eventually, by 10, 11 o'clock tonight, we do run out of moisture. The storm system continues to pull away from us, but it's going to be a solid 12 to 15 hours of some type of precipitation. This is a long duration. But our most concerning part is the probability of significant icing in this blue area. So we're talking Wilmington, Philadelphia, up towards Trenton, and unfortunately with significant icing over ½ an inch, that means major tree damage is possible, prolonged power outages, even light icing if you were in that light region. Icy roads, dangerous driving. You just don't want to mess with it, especially if there's an ice threat, which we do have for today. Matt, let's check in with you. He is in the live center. Matt?
Yeah, thanks, Brittany. And we've been talking about those icy, snowing conditions and just what we're going to be expecting with this long duration type of storm. And SEPTA announcing within the last 15, 20 minutes that bus and regional rail service will be suspended starting at 2 o'clock this afternoon. And the earliest that it can come back online, we're told, will be tomorrow. So again, that is the earliest that we'll see SEPTA service resuming on bus and regional rail. Now, Market Frankford line, Broad Street line, those are continuing to run, so that is not impacted by this at all. But again, that is a big note for you folks who may need to take SEPTA, that is going to have an impact on the commute later on this afternoon. Now, let's take a look at the roads. Not really seeing too much in the way of travel out there. A lot of people staying off the roads, heeding the warning. 76 eastbound here at University Avenue, very empty. There was a crash there about a half hour ago, cleared out of the way there. 76 here, the Conshohocken curve, only a few cars out there at the moment. As we look here, 95 Woodhaven, you could barely make it out the roadway in the distance there. Very low visibility, seeing that on a lot of roadways at this point. Same goes here in Delaware 95 at Route 452. Now, we also learned within the last hour here, Delaware now has a level 2 restriction. That just started about 7 minutes ago here. So that means only emergency workers, healthcare workers, utility crews, can be on the road. So that applies to Delaware. Everywhere else, seeing about 45-mile-per-hour speed restrictions. Please be safe if you do have to go. Otherwise, just stay home, ladies, right?
Mm-hmm. Good advice. We keep saying it. All right. Thanks for that, Matt DeLucia in our live center. Let's send it out to Siobhan McGraw.
Yeah, she's in Woodbury Heights, right near Route 45. Pretty major road, but right near a Wawa. I know you got some brave individuals out there getting their coffee.
Some people are out, but those people who are out are taking it slow and going right home, they tell me. Hey, I want to start off. Last time we saw you, about 30 minutes ago, we saw a caravan of plow drivers coming through here on 45. Half hour later now, we can barely see the blacktop. 45 is covered in snow. This morning, we know the public works crews are working at the state level, the county level, the local level. We've seen Woodbury Heights crews come by here. We know that they are working here in Gloucester County. They are in Camden County, Burlington County. We just got an update, a full fleet, but the snow continues to fall, guys. So they're working as hard as they can to keep up with this storm. Right now, I have the yardstick out here. Let's check in Woodbury Heights. We have... Ooh, look at that. It looks like we're close to 5 inches of snow here in Woodbury Heights, just off of Route 45 as the snow continues to come down, almost coming down sideways, guys, and we're feeling the winds pick up. I'm going to walk over this way. The people who we have seen out today, again, they tell us they're taking it slow. They say if they go over like 15, 25, that's when they start to feel the car slip and slide. Even the people I spoke with say they don't advise being out. They were going right back home. Other people we talked to, they're contractors and essential workers, people who have to be out on the road, of course, across the region. And right here in New Jersey, under a state of emergency, people are being advised to stay home. Only travel if you need to, right? We keep on saying it. I'm going to show you. I got some props here, right? So I want to show you first. The snow right now, still that kind of like light, fluffy, super easy to shovel. The guys here at Wawa have been working hard to keep this parking lot clear, especially the areas around the gas pumps, and they say light and fluffy. I was talking to one of the gentlemen. He goes, I don't think that's going to last. I don't know. We'll have to see, especially with this ice concern coming in. I saw this little thing online that if you put rubbing hull and water into a bottle and spray it, some of the ice comes off, because we do see some of the ice building up. So look at that. It does kind of work. It's the first time I tried this. I don't know. But you can see the ice coming off, because while the snow is light and fluffy, we do see the ice building up. Over here on the windshield, too, you can see our windshields are kind of, the windshield wipers are kind of coated. Ooh, much thicker. But I don't know, maybe a trick if you're thinking about going outside and start to clear off some of your cars. Ooh, actually, let me leave you with this shot right here, guys. John, if you could turn around the camera. There's one of those plow trucks, DOT. We told you guys they are out working. Difficult conditions as the snow continues to fall, but they're trying their best to keep up with it. Again, county, state, local crews all out here. Brenna, Aaron, we will send it back to you.
She does it all.
Siobhan, you are having a time out there. We got the science in a bottle. She's shoveling snow the right way, by the way.
Yes.
I love it.
She looks good
I
doing
love
it. Siobhan, thanks.
Making the best of this situation. All right.
You got to do what you got to do, right?
Absolutely.
That's for sure. Thank you so much, Siobhan. We'll check back in a little bit. For now, we need to head to Delaware. This is a live look from our camera in Wilmington. And as you can see, visibility definitely low. Those cars really taking it slow on the interstate.
Let's check back in with Tim Furlong. Hey, Tim. Oh, he's back in the car.
Good. We like that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm no dummy. I'm getting back in the car, but I feel like a big old loser. Siobhan's like doing like science experiments, making me look bad here. Sorry, I don't have anything prepared for you guys today. But yeah, so I did just have the governor of my state though. I don't think she had the governor with her, but either way. But hey, listen, I want to show you where we are. Let's look out the front of our vehicle here. We are now in North Wilmington, Brandywine 100 area. We are heading west on Silverside Road, crossing over Falk Road. These are Falk and Silverside are two like main roads in North Wilmington that a lot of people know. And you can see DelDOT has been out. I assure you, I've seen the trucks. We have seen them on the Plow map, but they're having trouble keeping up. This is the state of the roads in Delaware at this point, most of Delaware. Southern Delaware, a little different because it's a little bit different consistency of the snow down there. And also we're noticing that the lights aren't timing out all the same. So sometimes we're sitting at lights for a really long time. That just turned green when I said that. Of course, that's how it goes on TV. Another thing that we've learned in our station vehicle driving, and you should not be driving, is sometimes you hear boom, and we all shake, and Matt, my photographer, goes, I think we hit a curb. I'm like, yeah, you think? Of course we did. but you can't see the curbs. The snow is level with the curbs, and if you're driving through like a shopping center, it's hard to tell where the medians are and things like that. Some of the shopping centers are getting plowed. Some of the private areas are getting plowed over by like the big companies at the big box stores and the real estate developers. They have their crews out there. But on the smaller shopping centers and certainly on main roads like this, Silverside Road here, it's DelDOT. DelDOT handles about 90% of the roads in the state of Delaware. Unlike a lot of other states like Pennsylvania and New Jersey, the municipalities handle more of their streets. Newark handles some of their streets. Wilmington handles some of their streets, but DelDOT handles the vast majority of streets. So they're doing their best to keep up. So you have to be patient. Take it very slow if you have to go out. But again, I want to remind you what the governor said. We're now, as of 13 minutes ago, in a level 2 driving emergency situation. So you're not allowed to be on the roads of Delaware unless you're state official, media, essential personnel, delivery, plow drivers, things like that. So just be super careful out here on the roads if you're one of those people. And if you're not one of those people, get off the road. It's not time to go to Wawa to get your coffee. Sorry, it's not. So you just need to be super careful. So we'll check back with you in a little while, but wherever you are, continue to stay safe and continue to stay warm. Back to you guys.
Every now and then, you can see in the shot, Tim, you can see every now and then where the plows have come by, but there's so much falling that it looks like the road hasn't been touched.
Right. You can't blame Matt. I trust
Matt. We're in like this heavy vehicle. Yeah, we're a heavy vehicle, and like we're fishtailing a little bit and stuff. And look, you see this car here, that's a little Ford that is not all-wheel drive, and they're stuck. I mean, like, and you want to say to these people, like, let's be real. You just want to go up to them and be like, hello, like, what were you thinking, man?
What are you doing?
Like, why would you do that? Yeah, what are you doing? I mean, what could you possibly have needed to go out for? And by the way, if you have an emergency, 911. That's what you do. That's what even the governor. You with me? The governor said that a short while ago. It's safer for everybody. If you need to call help, call 911. So guys, just everybody use their head, please.
Listen, can't say it enough. Tim Furlong driving there in Delaware, North Wilmington.
Set to the Pennsylvania suburbs now. This is a live look at King of Prussia from our Valley Forge tourism camera. This camera has been showing just continuous snowfall all morning long. It's really low visibility.
Let's go to Katie Zachary. She's live along Lancaster Avenue, heading from Chester into Delaware County, if I've got that right. What are you seeing out there, Katie?
You've gotten that right. We timed it perfectly, Aaron. Take a look outside. We are passing from Berwyn into Devon right now, and you just missed photographer Eric Cheever saying to me as we were going through that intersection, this is bad. And Aaron, to echo something you just said, it's hard to decipher where they've plowed on the main road to the shoulders where they haven't plowed, because as quickly as they go through here on Lancaster Ave with the plows, and we've seen them pretty repeatedly, the snow is just falling at such a rate where it covers up any progress they've made, which really echoes to what we've said. You have to go slowly. We are going 19 miles an hour right now. Normal speed limit is 35. We've seen some trucks, some SUVs. There's not a lot of traffic on the road, but some are going faster than they should, and that's just not a good idea. We talked to the battalion chief over at the Berwyn Fire Department. She's been out this morning and told me, to quote her, the roads are horrible. We also talked to someone who lives not far from that new Berwyn Fire Department. She was out, her dog Honey was out in this snow, and she had some really fun remarks we wanted to share with you.
It's very icy, a lot more difficult to shovel.
More difficult to shovel. So what are your plans for shoveling all this snow we're getting?
I know I need to go out every couple hours, depending, so I just did my first. So it's much easier on my back.
That's great advice. And was it heavy? Was it light? How would you describe it?
It was light right now, but it feels like it's changing.
Okay, so those were more serious remarks we heard from her. Very informative. She was really sweet after that. She was saying how much her dog Honey loves to frolic in the snow. And one thing we noticed as I was petting the dog, that the snow that was falling on its fur was turning to ice pretty quickly. So if you're walking your dog, if you're letting it run around in the snow, just be aware it's going to cling on to the fur pretty quickly. And I just want to draw your attention. we're coming up behind a bunch of people who are just walking on Lancaster Avenue, right in the lane here. I'm pretty sure you can probably make out Aaron and Brenna. Tell me if you can from our screen. We have someone on our right walking on the street with a dog. Okay, and then we have two guys who are just in the middle of our lane of traffic. Not advisable at all, just because there isn't great visibility as we're showing you right now through our camera. So, you know, we don't know what their situation is, but we can also tell you that SEPTA, as of 2 o'clock, will be suspending its bus service. And here along Route 30, going west of the city and back into the city, that is vital for so many people who work out here. There are a lot of businesses that are totally closed today, so you hope those workers who need to make their way into and out of Philadelphia are not working and are not needing to catch that bus, which again, SEPTA bus service is suspended as of 2 o'clock today. We'll send it back to you all.
All right, Katie Zachary there giving us a look at the Pennsylvania suburbs. And boy, it's just getting worse and worse. Since we came on the air this morning, conditions really, no matter where you are, have really deteriorated.
That stay-at-home advice, I mean, just getting more and more true.
Absolutely. All right, we're continuing to track the impacts of this major winter storm around the region. You're looking live right now at Broad Street, Center City, Philadelphia. The snow has been falling for the past 8 hours or so. Several snow emergencies have been declared all across our area. The majority of our region could see 10 inches of snow or more, but the storm will eventually transition to sleet and freezing rain, which raises the threat of downed trees and power lines. SEPTA says regional rail service and bus service going to be suspended starting at 2 o'clock. We've been saying that. We'll say it again. Service suspensions on New Jersey Transit have already started. 641 flights have been canceled already at Philly International Airport. That's according to FlightAware. And we have a news conference. Now, we've been telling you that the mayor of Philadelphia and other city leaders were planning to do a news conference. Let's show you that live picture right now because they've just gathered there at the podium. More on what the city of Philadelphia is doing.
Let me start by saying good morning, everyone. I want to thank you all for being here in these very challenging conditions. Philadelphia, I want you to know that as we gather here this morning, weather officials have told us that the snow began falling across the city at around 3 a.m. This morning. And how many inches? Do we know how many inches, Dom, about now?
We were 3.5 at the EOC at 9 a.m.
So 3.5 inches at 9 a.m. This morning. And after that ends, we're anticipating an additional sleet and or what we're referencing as freezing rain conditions, and that will stay with us for a few hours. This remains a significant winter storm, and there are rough travel conditions expected all day long. So please remain at home if you possibly can. Since 5 a.m. this morning, for about 6 hours now, we've had a combined force of about 1,000 of our city workers and contractors, and they are using nearly 600 pieces of equipment, battling continuously to keep our roads safe and clear. And when we say equipment, we talk about everything from those triaxle dump trucks to loaders, sanitation compactors with plows that are attached to them, pickup trucks, and this was a new one for me, Philadelphia. Even ATVs have been deployed to help keep our roads clear. And beyond that, I want you to know that there are hundreds of city employees working collaboratively across departments and agencies to keep our warming shelters open, to answer 311 calls and 911 calls, and to ensure that our utilities are ready. And of course, all of our essential city services are operational. So I want to thank all of our municipal workforce because their work and their service right now, today and in the coming days, is essential, and we want you to know that we appreciate you. Philadelphia, we also want you to know that the city remains under a snow emergency that began at 9 p.m. last night. As of this moment, there is no update on when we anticipate lifting those restrictions as we still have more hours of precipitation to navigate and to clear. So I want to say thank you also to those citizens who have cooperated, and they've moved their vehicles. Many of them did that before last night at 9 p.m. when our snow emergency went into effect, and we want you to know we don't take that lightly. While our snow emergency has been in effect for just about 12 hours, I also want to acknowledge our teams that have been working in an enhanced emergency posture since last Tuesday under our enhanced Code Blue operations. Now, Philadelphia, you should know that the Code Blue addresses additional support and operations for vulnerable populations during bitterly cold temperatures that are expected to continue for much of the coming week, far beyond when today's precipitation will actually end. I do understand that we have provided at least 250 additional bed slots during this emergency, and you're going to hear more from our Deputy Managing Director, Crystal Yates-Gale, on those details shortly. But speaking of bitterly cold temperatures that will remain, they will continue to remain with us, I want to reaffirm several of the safety messages that we shared with you yesterday. First, please remain off the roads if you do not have to travel. This challenging forecast means that we must completely clear the roads of snow, listen, before applying salt, since it will not penetrate snow due to the frigid temperatures. The less cars on the road means more time for our crews to get that essential task completed. So please, let's give our workforce the cooperation that they need. Now, Director Williams and Commissioner Del Rossi, they've been keeping me updated on the hour about our plowing operations that will soon expand to lifting and melting operations so that we keep primary, secondary, and yes, Philadelphia, our small tertiary roads and streets clear. And they're going to tell you more about that, along with the equipment I just had the opportunity to see for the first time that I'm excited that we're employing here in our city. But I do want you to know, Philadelphia, that these operations require periodic road closures because of tight spaces and the volumes of snow. So staying out of their way now helps them to get the snow out of the way faster, and we thank you so very much for your patience. Last, the forecast transition from snow right now to ice and sleet later today has us all on heightened concern about slippery road conditions and an increased possibility of power outages. I want to say a special thank you to our utility companies, PECO and PGW, for staying on the ready and in constant communication with the Office of Emergency Services here, led by Dom, so thank you for that. Now is the time, Philadelphia, to go around your own home to ensure that you are prepared. And once you're secure, please do what you can to check on your neighbors to make sure they are ready as well, especially our seniors and those folk who are disabled. We want to make sure we're providing as much assistance as possible. So if you have a neighbor that you know needs help with shoveling or anything related to the storm, please help them. Not only is it the right thing to do, but it's what I mean when you hear me say One Philly. This is when we get a chance to show the best that we have to offer. If you see someone who is outside or who is disabled and they need help, I want you to remember that you can call this number, 215-232-1984. Again, that's 215-232-1984 if you see someone who is outside or disabled and they need help. And if you or someone you know needs immediate access to resources to get and stay warm, I want you to know that you can visit phila.gov/getwarm. That's phila.gov/GETWARM. Now, our aim is to convene the media again on Monday around this same time for another snowstorm update. So we want you to watch our communications on social media. And to Dom and Director Williams, Joe Grace, you all have been doing an amazing job with keeping our residents up to date. We want you to know that we will let you know via our normal channels, whether that's our public channels on cable or, again, on our website. So, Philly, let's stick together. Let's take care of our family and our neighbors. Let's follow the guidelines we're providing for you. And I want you to know that we will get through this storm together. And I now want to turn things over to our Director Williams.
All right, you're listening to Philadelphia Mayor Sherelle Parker there, giving us an update on the storm preparations that the city's been taking all throughout the week and up until this point now that we're in the midst of this storm.